Coach, Miami played in Chattanooga at the Frost Classic this past weekend. Overall, what did you think of the Redhawks play?
Yeah, I thought we had a lot of good moments. I thought our team did a lot of good things. And just starting with Friday, we opened up with a really good UNLV team. And, I thought our team actually played really well. We just weren't able to get that one timely hit. And then you look at the UTC game, and we're down by a run in the seventh inning, and it was nobody on, 2 outs, a 3-2 count, and Hannah Obrey comes up in a really big moment and hits a home run to tie the game. And we find a way to win that game in the eighth, and just really love the resiliency and the fight that our kids showed till the end of that game. And Saturday just wasn't our day. I mean, it's as simple as that. I was happy to see our offense starting to turn some things around, and we were able to put up more runs. But unfortunately, we just didn't do a good enough job in the circle, and we didn't do the best job defending the ball either. Sunday was pleased with our performance. We came out and we found a way to score more runs than St. Louis, and so it was good to close the weekend off on a strong note. However, from a results standpoint, we're not happy going 2-3. Obviously, we wish we would have done a little bit better, but we're 10 games into the season right now, and I think we're struggling with consistency of play. But going into this weekend, that's something that we're looking to turn around and hoping to just kind of get back on track.
Who stepped up during the Frost Classic this past weekend?
Jada Dotson. Jada was an absolute stud. It was literally every time she stepped into the box, we knew she was going to do something special. I mean, the kid hit over 700. She slugged over 1,000. She led our team in every single category. And in that St. Louis game, she drove in all 4 runs. So and the crazy thing is Jada's been out for the past 2 weeks. She's been injured. But for her to come out and do what she did this weekend was absolutely spectacular, and we needed that. And have to also talk about Allie Cummins, second to Jada. She had a really good weekend as well, and really have liked her progress from Chicago to this weekend. And, she's somebody who's going to be a big part of our offense. So it's extremely important that, she's coming around and finding ways to drive in runs and get on base and things like that. And I also thought Courtney had a good weekend, especially on Friday. I thought she threw the ball really well. I mean, Court threw 23 innings on the weekend, and she had 41 strikeouts, which is pretty impressive. So pleased with her, like the strides that she's making, and obviously her success is going to be a big part of our success as a team this year.
You got your 200th win as a head coach during the
Yes.
Frost Classic.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to pass this milestone, and what does this accomplishment say about the players and coaches you've worked with while at Miami?
Right. First off, I had no idea about the 200 mark. So at the end of the UTC game, I was in complete shock when our staff and our players presented me with gifts. And I'd have to start by thanking them, starting with my coaching staff, in particular, Coach Sanders, our players, our parents. It was nice to have them all there to celebrate that day with me. And I'd also like to thank Doug and Shelly Sanders, because they were a part of that day as well. But for me, the personal accomplishments for me don't really exist, because without others and your people, I mean, it wouldn't happen. So I think I'm just most thankful for reaching that mark here at Miami, and obviously this is the only place that I've been, so I feel truly blessed just because of that. And I just have to thank all of the players and previous coaches and all the members of our support staff who have been a part of our program that has helped this journey to 200. So yeah, definitely a humbling day, and excited to just keep winning.
This weekend you traveled to Madeira Beach, Florida for the spring games. How do you
Yes.
hope Miami can build upon the first 2 weekends of play?
Right. It's going to be a tough weekend. We're playing several good teams down there, but I'm excited. I'm excited for our team to go down there and compete. And you said it in your question as far as building off of the previous 2 weekends, and that right now is what is most key. And again, we're 10 games into the season. It's a marathon, not a sprint to the end. So I've liked what our team has done up to this point. As far as I mentioned this before, we've seen a lot of great things, and I think going down to Madeira, now we have to start working on just finding some consistency in our play. So I think our team will be ready for the challenge come this weekend.
On Friday, you play Iowa and
Yes.
Florida Atlantic.
Yep.
What do you expect to see from these teams?
Yeah, Iowa's playing really well right now. They're 12-2. They're a team that we are familiar with because we played them last year at Southern Illinois tournament. We dropped a close one to them, 2-1, and that 2-1 score is pretty indicative of what those guys are doing right now because they've got two really good pitchers and they're not giving up a lot of runs. Their fielding percentage is right around a 975, so their pitching is strong, their defense is strong, and their offense is finding ways to manufacture just enough runs that it's allowing them to win. So expect a very good Iowa team. Game 1. Game 2, we play Florida Atlantic. It's not a team that I'm all that familiar with because we have not played them since I've been here, but I know that they will be well coached. Legendary coach Joan Joyce is the head coach for that program, and I know that their team is going to be ready to play. And those guys have played some really good teams up to this point in time, so I know that they're going to be prepared for our game. And when you look at what they're doing right now, they've got one main pitcher, and they've got about three other pitchers who've been kind of sharing the load. And offensively, they've got a few kids at the top of the order who's swinging the bat well.
On Saturday, Miami faces South Alabama and then Middle Tennessee. What do you know about these teams?
Yeah, South Alabama's played a really tough schedule. I mean, they've played Illinois, they've played Notre Dame, I think they've played Minnesota. So, they've seen some really good competition, which that in itself tells me that they're going to be ready for our game. It's again another program that I'm not too familiar with. They're out of region. They're not a team that we've really played in the past, but I know that they're also going to be a well-coached team and pretty similar to Florida Atlantic. I think they've got some kids swinging the bat well, and they've got a number one pitcher, and then they've got about three kids sharing the load in the circle. And Middle Tennessee, they're playing well too. And right now they've also played some good teams. I think they've played Kentucky, and I think those guys are a quality program, and they've got 2 to 3 pitchers that are on that staff. And again, they've offensively actually they're swinging the bat pretty well. They're hitting right around 290, and they're actually playing really good defense at a 975 for their fielding percentage. So it's just a game that it's going to be a tough game for us, and Saturday is going to be a tough one, and we're going to have to come out and be ready to go.
On Sunday, you finished the weekend against Florida Gulf Coast. What do they bring to the field?
An 11-4 record. No, those guys are, they've been the past few years. That program has been really good, and it starts with the pitchers throwing the ball in the circle. They rely on 2 pitchers, and their ERAs are really good. And it's going to be one of those games where we're going to have to rely on timely hitting. I don't see us going into that game and putting up a ton of runs against that type of pitching staff, pretty similar to what Iowa's going to show. But yeah, they've played some good competition as well, and obviously they're going to be confident with an 11-4 record. And the good thing about that game is that we'll have an opportunity to scout them beforehand and kind of see what they're all about. But yeah, just nonetheless, just looking forward to getting back out this weekend. We get to travel south in some good weather in Florida, so excited for the weekend, and I know our team will be ready to go.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.